sense. But right now we have Sheriff Richard Mack. He's going to be speaking at the Michigan Sheriff's Association in the Upper Peninsula on April 7th. That's tomorrow, folks. How are you doing, Mr. Mack?
Well, I'm doing fine. And Jason, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Thanks for having me on the show tonight. And yeah, it's been a long day. I left Phoenix this morning about 9 Arizona time. Got into Detroit, no problem, even though it was kind of snowing. And then ended up over in Green Bay, and now I'm at, where am I? I'm in Kingsford, Michigan, Iron Mountain area. And yes, we're lined up tomorrow to do a lot of the work that, quite frankly, Alex helped kick off for us, and he helped get my message out, and I'll be eternally grateful to him. And he really started this off with his show about 2 months ago, and the people of this country are really starting to wake up, and even people in the mainstream are starting to recognize that Marxism is starting to take over the national agenda in our own country. And this is something that we fought 2 world wars to prevent. And America was never to be a socialistic Marxist country. In fact, our Constitution was derived and developed specifically to prevent such an occurrence and to prevent such a government. And now, since Alex announced my book, The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope, along with the Power Hour with Joyce and Dave, this has just been going crazy, and I would have never imagined such tremendous success and people getting so involved. The Ron Paul groups are really getting involved in this, and people who are just looking for an answer and still looking for hope now have a book in their hands called The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope, which shows that the sheriff is indeed the ultimate power and authority in his county, and has every responsibility and duty, authority and power to protect the citizens of his county from the incursions and criminality of the federal government. And the book is proof positive, and as you said, I'm speaking at the Michigan, Upper Peninsula Michigan Association of Sheriffs, and I'll be speaking there tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night at Kingsford High School at 7 p.m., and people from Green Bay would be able to make this in about an hour and a half drive. So come on up, and at 7 p.m. I'll be speaking there. And this is a wonderful event, a rally of sorts to let people know that the Constitution still stands for freedom, and it's still intact as long as we're standing behind it. But there's no question that the Constitution has been replaced by a political agenda, political correctness, and a political agenda of the Republican and Democratic national parties, and they no longer follow the Constitution or anything the Founding Fathers said, and this is just a revival and restoration of those principles that our country was founded upon, and that's what this is all about. And it's to also convince and convert the sheriff to his oath of office. And I know that there's been a lot of talk about Oathkeepers, and I'm now working with them. And so this week I've been on the phone and internet with Oathkeepers, with Ron Paul. He gave me a call last Friday. And so this thing has been tremendous, and again, I want to thank Genesis and Alex and you and everybody else that's been so supportive, because this thing is really moving.
Well, you are a very important person right now, shedding light on how, sheriffs do have the right over the federal government, and they can boot them out of there, and it's very refreshing to see a law enforcement officer who is pro-Constitution, pro-Bill of Rights, knows what's going on in the country, and then to be so successful with your book, this has turned into quite a tour, and then to talk to other people and let them know, this is what's really going on. And I couldn't agree with you more that, both parties are part of this. The Democrats and the Republicans are the same exact thing, and we have to get past these partisan politics, this left-right paradigm, And our listeners, the people that listen to Alex, my show, Genesis, they are the best activists in the world, and they can get behind something. So, I got to applaud you for that. Where is this going to take you afterwards? Are you going to continue on after Michigan?
This is just starting. I've already been to Winsboro, Texas, and then Fredericksburg, Texas, and Tucson, Arizona, which is close to my home, about an hour and 45 minutes. And I've done Phoenix, Arizona with the John Birch Society. And then I've got Phoenix coming up again real soon. And then I've got, where am I going next? Oh, I'm going to be with Oathkeepers at the Lexington lawn on April 19th, Sunday. So everybody, you want to go to where the shot was first heard around the world? Well, this is going to be the second one. And so I'm going to be speaking there on April 19th, and then April, 24th, I'll be in Ohio. And then 25th, I'll be in Pennsylvania, supporting Therese Anye, who is running for sheriff there on a constitutional platform. Can you believe that? And she's got a great chance. She's doing very well in the polls. She very well could be the first elected constitutional sheriff in a long time, perhaps since I left office.
Well, it's well overdue. I mean, the fact of the matter is that that's why we support groups like Campaign for Liberty, because it is about taking over your local government, whether that's running for sheriff or city council member, or if you're ambitious enough, a state senator or perhaps a congressman in your district.
It's the only place left. It really is the only place it left. And I say this in the book. You can forget getting anywhere in Washington, D.C. And yes, I love Ron Paul. I'm glad he's there. But he's basically alone. And being the only person to vote no is powerful, but it's really not going to restore the Constitution. But you can do it, just as you were pointing out. You can do it at the local level. And the book theme is this, and the book, it's actually a booklet. It's a booklet. It's 50 pages long. Everybody can read it. There's no excuses about, it's too long, I couldn't finish it. Well, I tell people the sheriffs can read this while they eat a donut and drink their coffee. It takes 25 minutes to read this book, maybe 35 at the most. And this is all action-oriented, though. That's what everybody needs to be aware of. This is action-oriented. This is a solution. And again, you only need a few people. You just met. If we could get our sheriff and maybe one of the county commissioners and maybe somebody on the city council and the chief of police or somebody in his department, you could do this basically with the sheriff alone. But you don't want to have him do it by himself. You don't want him standing there alone. He needs the people behind him. It would be great to have a county commissioner or board of supervisor behind him. What if the county commission made a resolution that we will not accept any more gun control from the federal government within this county, and the sheriff is to enforce that? How tremendous that would be! And the sheriffs getting together. Let's say the Michigan sheriffs or the Texas sheriffs, where I spoke in Texas. There's 254 sheriffs. What if 150 sheriffs in Texas or 40 or 50 sheriffs in Michigan signed a letter to the federal government, to Obama and the gang out in D.C., and said, we understand you're going to initiate more gun control. Well, they will not be applicable. They will not have no application. They will not be recognized. In fact, it will not be allowed in the following counties. And then the sheriff puts the county, signs his name, and just make sure that you understand the people of these counties will not be taking your new ID, your national ID, and will have nothing to do with any more gun control. It will not be enforced in this county. Do not send in the BATF. They will not be allowed. And you see the power that happens when something like that would take place. It would absolutely be the next shot heard around the world, and nobody has to get hurt. And that's one thing I want to emphasize. This is a peaceful revolution or restoration. We mean no harm to absolutely anyone, not in or outside of government. We mean no harm to anyone. But make no mistake, we will stand firm in our belief and in our resolve to restore the Constitution and make sure that it is not violated in this county. And so,
Well,
county by
huge.
county, we will take this country back.